Well, if everyone is ready, we'll go ahead and jump back into Obojima, Tales from the Tall Grass. Last time, our party had begun their journey south from Okiri Village, heading through the heart of the Gift of Shiratashi. Down through the forested areas, you came across a random K-truck farmer, trader, that offered you a ride and saved you a bit of time going further south until they detoured towards a small village further east of your current location. Later that night, you stopped off in a clearing amongst the lightly forested areas there, and during the night, you realized quite quickly that you were not alone in this otherwise moderately safe area, as you, Axel, during your watch, found yourself a bit more forgetful than you usually are, as this creature known as a crawler had extracted a chunk of your previous day's memories. As you looked down, this large creature had plucked these memories from you, at which point you alerted your companions, and a fight began with this creature as it tried to extract more memories from your companions. They themselves losing chunks of their memory as this creature longed to just extract anything it could from your thoughts, your feelings, everything that it could in this darkened forest region. Thankfully, you were able to overcome the creature with a well-placed stamp of wax sorcery from Mirage. You were able to finish it off, as it didn't seem to like being lit on fire quite as much as you could imagine of a creature made of mostly brush and moss and other flammable things. So to finish off the rest of the evening, you recovered as quickly as you could, waking up the following morning. If you haven't already taken your long rest, please do so, as you wake up to the dawn of a new day as you head further south down towards Lake Ilior, one of the largest inland lakes on the island of Obojima. On the map there, it's number 4. And beyond that, your final destination of Yadaman, one of the largest cities on the island of Obojima and one of the furthest metropolitan cities on the island, at the far southern tip of the island itself. As the sun begins to rise in the east, climbing up higher and higher into the sky overhead, as you pack up your camp supplies and everything along the way, your journey begins once more. What would you like to do?
Like, are we on the city already?
No, you are
like on our way, no?
Yes, you're about a day and a half into your trip. You saved about half a day's time by taking that ride with the K-truck. Farmer, trader, I would say you're right about here, right where it says gift, in the Gift of Shiratashi, right in the heart of this region. You probably have about another solid 2 days of travel. At least a day to get down to Lake Ilior, and then another day's travel from the lake down to Yadaman.
As we're finishing up the rest, I will be making an Earth Talisman.
Okay. What kind of talisman and what effects would this talisman have?
So if whoever's holding this talisman, they drop down to 0 HP, they go to 1.
Okay. Quite a useful little item to have upon you should you wander into a region you're not familiar with and wander into an encounter you're not prepared for. So good looking out.
Like last night.
Yes. Like the night before. But with that in mind, you are more prepared and more alert this morning. You find yourselves after nearly losing chunks of your memory and your lives to this strange forest creature known as a crawler. But as you set out southward towards Yadaman and then past Lake Elior, if there's nothing specific that you're trying to do along the way, which I'll ask right now, is there anything specific anything you guys want to do while you're traveling? You basically have some free time here while you are walking, as long as it's not something that takes you far off the main path or any of the side roads, things that you notice. You can see here that this is a pretty commonly traveled region in the Gift of Shiratashi. And there are a handful of small little pit stops, small towns, trade posts, and things along the way. But you're in an area right now where you're in the more heavily forested area, and then once you get further south towards the lake, you'll find that there are likely more towns. Mirage, you're more familiar with this region as well. Axel, you've come northward up this way a handful of times to know that there are a handful of towns in this region as well. Mipsy, this is the first time you've been in this region. But, as I said, is there anything you would like to do along the way?
I got nothing at the moment.
No, I would say maybe. But you say like if it's a transit, like I would say like I will take out the map and try and like to fill up anything that, because like I'm trying to fill up the whole map
Sure.
of the place.
Okay.
So like just little bits of it if I found anything or something.
Okay. Give me a survival check, if you
Oh
don't
my
mind, to see how well you can document this location as you travel through here.
Pretty nice.
Very nice. Your notes are impeccable as you travel southward along this main road. You document all the variety of fauna and flora along the way. With that 22 roll, you document a quite unique landmark as you pass through. You come upon a fenced-off region that you yourself are not quite familiar with. Axel, you've briefly heard of this location, but you've never seen it in person. It is a wide, sprawling field of rolling hills. There are large flocks of birds all over. High in the sky, you can actually see there are these almost like clownfish sort of creatures flying through the air, literally known as flying fish. A bit odd for the situation. And you see that there are these large birds of prey following after these schools of fish, catching any of them they can, venturing too far from the flock or from the large groupings of them. Almost like pelicans. You can see that they have these large throat sacs that come down from the front of the beak, and they spread their beaks wide to try to swallow, almost like airborne whales, if you will, capturing these fish. But what you see across these rolling hills catches your eye as well. There are large piles of rocks scattered about. At least that's what you see from a distance until you get closer to the fence line. And that's when you notice that these are not piles of random rocks. In fact, they're not piles of just random rocks. They're moving. Slowly.
Wonderful.
But they're moving. But you notice, Mipsy, quite quickly that they don't give off an air of malice. In fact, they seem quite peaceful. And you can tell because the birds all around them are very eager to just roost on them, that they move so slowly for the most part, that they don't seem to be paying you all any mind, even at this distance. One's probably not more than 30 feet away from you. And you see it's leaning over, and scattered all about these rolling hills, you see there are flowers everywhere. Just fields of wildflowers. You can see that there are bees and insects pollinating all over this location. And you can see that these rock creatures seem to be more concerned with tending to these fields than they seem to be doing anything else. And you can see just in your general periphery, there's probably about half a dozen of these rock creatures. Is anyone proficient in nature?
Yes.
Mipsy, you would know these as stone golems.
Okay.
Give me just a moment here, and I will give you all a delightful little visual here. I'm sorry, rubble golems. They almost look like stone retaining walls given loose humanoid form. And they are quite large. They are probably about anywhere from 8 to 10 feet tall. So... oh, come on. Why does it always default to that one? But that is what you see in your periphery. And there's about half a dozen of these creatures scattered about the rolling hills of this area. But as far as from your vantage point here, they don't seem to be paying you any mind at all. In fact, they seem quite docile, and so much so that there are birds and flowers scattered all over them like little mobile planters in the gaps where dirt and debris has gathered between the cracks in their stone hides. There are flowers and moss and greenery gathering all around them, kind of like barnacles would on a motionless boat out in the ocean. But as you see,
Can I just try to make a sketch of it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, with that survival check, you make a very accurate sketch of this location. And as far as your notes, what would you like to call this little location, Mirage? It doesn't seem to have any sort of formal name on your maps or any map that you've seen prior. What would you like to call this region? As you seem to be the first one to think about giving it a name.
Can I go like with something like the peaceful moving rocks?
Sure. As you mark down the peaceful moving rocks in this location of your now makeshift map, you gather more intel and you mark for future generations of the Courier Brigade. This particular region, this location on the basically the dead center of the Gift of Shiratashi. A fine vantage point for anybody passing through this region. Just be aware that these golems are docile now, but you make a note that they seem to be rather protective of the flora and fauna of this location. and you'd rather not find out what they could do. Axel and Mipsy, is there anything that you would like to do in this location?
No.
No.
Okay. As you all head further south along the path in this location in the Gift of Shiratashi, can I have somebody roll me a D100, please?
Yeah. Because I did so well last time. I didn't do well this time.
Okay. As you get later into the day, you quickly see that the weather is taking a turn for the worst. As large, dark, black clouds begin to descend overhead, and shortly thereafter, you begin to smell that ever so familiar scent of rainfall coming your way. And within no more than 20 minutes to 30 minutes, it begins to downpour heavily. As you rush to find cover in any place you can, forested area of this location. Can I have somebody give me either a survival or a perception check to try to find cover from the heavy rainfall that has descended upon you?
I'm good at both, so if you guys are better, let me know. I have +5s.
I have +5 on perception too.
+1 and 2, so by all means.
All right.
I mean, one of you can assist if you'd like and give the other advantage, or you can both roll. It's
Yeah.
your choice.
This what's your name? Mimsy.
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 Alright.
Sorry.
Come on, Mippy.
It takes you a bit of time to find some cover, a denser canopied tree, and by that time you are all soaking wet from head to toe. And you can hear the rumble and crackle of lightning and thunder overhead as you take a breath after running all about trying to reach this location, trying to find any cover you can. As you try to dry off in this unusual storm in this time of the year. But nevertheless, it is an island. It is prone to coastal weather changes, not unlike this one. But with that, what do you do now that you have found cover, at least for a brief moment, having to take a bit of time from your excursion to wait out this storm?
I'm going to. Do I have my inventory here? Hold on. I mean, I would have gloves on, so I'm going to use shape water twice.
Okay.
I'm making a frozen umbrella
Okay.
in case I need to walk out. I'm not getting wet.
Mirage, Axel, you watch as your companion Mipsy raises up their hand and their staff, and you watch as the water that what was getting through the canopy of this tree has now crystallized into this umbrella sticking up from the top of their staff as they kind of balance it overhead, making a wide-spanning sort of cover for you all. You said you were using shape water twice. What other...
So one is just to make the shape, second is to freeze it.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
This lasts both an hour.
As your companion Mipsy is doing this, Axel, Mirage, is there anything that you all would like to do?
Not really. Just like trying to dry myself, make sure like my papers are not like soaking wet.
Okay.
How big is the umbrella that you made?
Well, it's gonna be like a 5-foot square.
Oh, all right. I was gonna say I could make another one. I could duplicate
Well,
it
5-foot cube.
if you want to do that. That's the only other thing. But other than that, no, I'm not doing anything.
Do you plan to duplicate the shape water?
Yeah, I'll use that.
You watch Mipsy as Axel copies your movements, your flow, and you watch as the raindrops spread out again like a canopy overhead before crystallizing into another large umbrella of a similar style and size. As you all are resting and taking a moment to dry yourselves off as the storm moves ever further southeastward overhead, you take a breath as you set down your packs, and as you do so, Mirage, you're the first to notice as you're trying to make sure that all your maps and any of the letters that you're carrying or any of the supplies that you're carrying have not gotten soaking wet. And you notice that the mossy ground below your feet is not as stationary as you would expect it to be. It doesn't give you rise for concern immediately, but you look down and you see there are little pockets of movement. Probably about, at first, about half a dozen, about no more than golf ball sized. And then...
Like, is it something moving below?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, it's like the moss on the ground, the little grassy pockets of flora are moving. And as you pay more attention now, you notice that they are paying attention to you. And by they, you see little golf ball sized motes of flora skittering about at your feet. Little tiny eyes staring back at you curiously. Give me just a moment here. Mipsy, you've heard of these creatures before. They give you no rise to concern either. In fact, they're known for being quite docile and abundantly curious. They look like little mothballs, but made entirely of moss and grass and small little flowers, and sticking and jetting out of their spherical forms are little tiny arms and two oddly shapen eyes, each one unique like a snowflake, as they scurry about around your feet. They usually congregate in larger, denser forested areas, but they are known to come out of areas around larger oak trees and things of that nature. And this is what you see now. You see creatures known as mosslings scurrying about your feet. A few of them, Axel, you notice have climbed up your pant leg, and one of them, as you turn, you're like, ugh. As you see, there's about two of them hanging out on one of your shoulders, curiously looking back at you. This is what you see. Did that pop up for you guys?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
They're in the rock, dude.
Quite a bit different in scale and size, but there are a wide number of these, surprisingly, for Mipsy. Normally, you don't see this many unless there is a larger forested area, but it seems like this heavy rain has kind of brought almost like worms buried below the dirt or dormant have all come up to enjoy the influx of rainfall that has come across the gift of Shiratashi this day. You can see there's, in the area directly around you, there's probably 3 to 4 dozen of these mosslings now, all kind of scurrying about curiously, some hanging up on branches above you, gripping upside down, some walking up the side of the tree trunk as you set your pack. Others, Mirage, you can see, have scurried into your pack and are kind of looking about, not doing any damage or trying to take anything, but just endlessly curious of what has been sat upon their normal stomping grounds, if you will. As these creatures scurry about you all, what do you do?
Can I kneel down and try to pet one of them?
Yes, give me an animal handling check if you don't mind.
Animal.
Yes, you'll see there's a skill called animal handling.
You'd be like very top.
Yeah, no. Oh my god.
Second one.
You go to
Oh my
reach down
God.
and they scatter like roaches. Very much not wanting to be touched. Which disappoints you a little bit as the two that had like climbed into your pack and were looking around have now like darted off in other directions. And now
I'm a
are
little
like
sad.
hiding behind the trunk and like staring at you sort of fearfully as if you were trying to capture them. They seem to have misunderstood your intentions. Mipsy, Axel, are you doing anything as these creatures sort of scurry about you? Axel, you have seemingly become their new best friend as you are quite tall and kind of resembling a tree in their mind, which makes sense considering all Dara usually begin their lifespan at the foot of a tree. So maybe that sort of symbiotic relationship is carrying through in this moment.
I'm just letting them run on me. I'm fine with it. I don't care.
At this point,
Yeah,
you
I got
probably
nothing
have
to do
about
they
a
want.
dozen of them, like birds on a light pole or a power line. They're just like chilling on your shoulders on all sides. You have quite the little entourage hanging out with you at this point. Mipsy, you look down and you've got one. Your waist sash. There's a handful of them that have kind of like tucked themselves in, enjoying the still sort of damp moisture of the rain on your the fabrics of your clothing, kind of tucking themselves in, absorbing that moisture around your waist.
All right, yeah, I'll let him just like chill. Wish I had Druidcraft to see how long this storm would last, but no.
Either Mipsy or Axel, roll me a D100 if you don't mind.
Axel, go ahead.
Figured.
Okay.
Nice.
Give me just a moment here. Gotta find something. Where's my list? Bum, bum. Okay. All right. Let's see. That is not what I was looking for, but... Mipsy. Well, Mipsy and Axel. You notice that your new little friends here, seeing as how you've been quite accommodating of their lack of personal space around you, you feel, Mipsy, first you feel like the little hand tugging at your collar of your clothing, and you look over on your shoulder, and one of them has a large bundle of what looks like some sort of weed, like some sort of, not that kind of weed. I'm going to cut you off right there. Not that kind of weed. Does not smell like that. It is, it looks almost like it's dried up, like to the point where it's probably like been out in the sun for a bit too long, but it has little seed pods on the end of it, and as it dried up, you can tell that like some of those seed pods, like the seeds themselves inside the pods, have kind of broken free, and it almost has like a rattling sound to it. Mipsy, give me a nature check, if you don't mind. See if you can identify what this
Sure.
is.
I mean, I have herbalism kits, so
Or you can use the herbalism kit and add that to your roll if you'd like. That would certainly assist in the matter if you want to identify it that way.
yeah. Let me just roll. I don't have it set up, so I'll just roll medicine because it'd be a
Okay.
wisdom probably check for that.
Okay. That was just enough. You needed a 10. You've not seen this before, but you've heard of it. It's called rattleshoot. It is a type of weed grass that is native to certain areas. And it's called that because of the way I described it. The little seeds break free as they dry up and kind of make like a rattling sound within the pods. And they seem to be, the mosslings have seemingly brought this ingredient to you as a gift.
Aw.
Thank you, little ones.
And for you, Axel, you see that they have brought you another sort of piece of flora. It is not quite as musically inclined, but it does have a stronger scent. It is pleasant. It has a very soothing aroma. You've not seen it for some kind, or for some time, but you have heard of this and you have seen it before. Usually in shops, tending to cosmetics and things of that nature that sell ingredients for personal hygiene, that sort of thing. You know this as mellowwort. And they give this to you as a gift.
Okay.
I'm in a corner acting natural, but you can tell for sure I'm jealous as fuck.
Mirage, you can tell that their curiosity has not diminished about you. They're just a little hesitant. You can see that they're still curious.
sorry.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, can I try to tell them be like, guys, she's cool. It's okay.
I'll tell you what. Go ahead and give me. With that, go ahead, Mirage. You can give me another one with advantage this time, as your companion assists in vouching for you.
How do I roll with advantage? Or do I roll twice?
You can roll twice and take the highest, or you can right click on your character sheet and it'll give you an option to roll with advantage.
I see it.
But they function the same way.
Oh, I don't think it worked, did it? No.
Yeah,
Damn it.
yeah, I see the one. It didn't. You can roll one more time though, because you only clicked it once. Okay, so we'll take the 15.
Oh, it took someone.
That was more than enough. So, with the encouragement of your companion, they now have, as you sit down below this makeshift umbrella, you can see that the mosslings have now kind of descended all around you. At this point, there's probably at least a dozen that are kind of scattered about, looking at your clothing. One of them is like crawling up the wood curvature of your bow on your back. Another one has started using the long braid that you have in your normal form and is like climbed up your braid as you feel the like kind of like skittering and is stopped and climbed all the way to the top of your head and like looks down from your bangs at you. They seem to become a lot more comfortable with you.
You can tell I'm more happy.
They don't offer you anything specifically, Mirage, but with that successful roll, I will go ahead and give you a point of inspiration that you can use at a later time.
Oh, wow. Thanks. Thanks. I'm just happy that they got like near me again.
You all lose a bit of time, maybe a few hours, as you wait for the storm to pass. But slowly the rain begins to subside. And you notice as things begin to dry up, the mosslings kind of scurry closer back to the base of the tree where it's still shady and the moisture has kind of collected at the base of this tree, kind of scurrying off of the three of you back to their little home base below this large oak tree. But with the poor weather slowly subsiding, and the rain all but gone, you do have a few more hours of daylight at this time. What would you all like to do? Would you like to continue, or would you like to take your or set up camp for the evening? You probably have about, I would say, 3.5 hours before it would get too dark to move safely. Not that you couldn't move through the dark, but there are stipulations to that too.
Oh, thank
I
you.
say we could move. Oh, you want to stay?
No, I mean I say we move for like another hour, like maybe
Yeah,
like an
yeah.
hour or two. I'm saying
Yeah.
If
like,
we
we're
want to
not going
move
through
for
the-
another hour, I have something.
not going through the
for us.
dark.
Yes. I continue a little bit and then set camp
We
before it gets
can-
dark.
What's your guys' movement speed? 30?
30.
Yeah.
Okay, effectively I can increase us because I have 25, so I'm the slow man. I can increase us, well, myself to 30 as well. Then I'll just post it here. We can keep using our reactions to get 15 feet more.
Okay.
So we can get 45 feet.
I would say that would probably catch you back up to where you originally would have been prior to the storm.
Yeah.
If you're going to use your spells you feel as Mipsy casts this spell on you, you feel
Yeah.
lighter, and like the muddy ground has not slowed you in any way. You feel a pep in your step. You feel like nothing is really hindering you further, and you feel like you've gotten a lot further by the time you do finally stop for the evening. At this point, you are getting ever closer to the to Lake Elior. Probably maybe 4.5 hours of walking. You can't quite see it yet as the hillside begins to rise and then fall as you get closer to the lake in this region, and kind of fall off rather rapidly when you get to the lakeside there. But you know you're getting close. As you Mipsy, can sense the increased moisture, not just from the rain, but just the large body of water nearby. And you, Axel, now back in this region that you were more familiar with, know that the lake is not too far away. With that in mind, do you all plan to set up camp in this region?
Might as well.
Yeah.
There aren't any towns within walking distance before it would get quite a bit darker. So you can certainly camp at this point. It doesn't take you long to find a location with some dry ground as you set up for the evening. Just to expedite things, let's go ahead and... we won't really decide who's going in what order, but if I could ask all of you to give me a perception check, assuming that each one of you would take a watch period. Okay? And we'll just do a group perception check. Oh, wow.
Hold on, 1 sec. Sorry, there you go.
Okay.
Oh my god.
You needed a group of 15, which you more than covered that, so. You do notice throughout the night there are, a handful of what could be described as beasts in this area, creatures of that nature. You can see that there are, give me just a moment. I forget the name. I don't have the image saved that I can show you, but I can at least describe them to you, and I'll add it in post. But one of the creatures that you do see in your brief respite here, you see... Give me just a moment. Where in the heck... I need to put better bookmarks in this. There's just so much information in certain segments that I lose track of it. Where is it? It is... Where is it? I know there's an image of it. Ah, here we go. You can see them off in the distance. They're quite a ways away from your campsite. But what you do pick up on, Axel, is they are reminiscent of like festival masks and performance masks that these creatures wear. You don't see their real faces. You just see the icy blue eyes behind these red and turquoise masks with Oni-like fangs sticking out and horns. They vary in complexity and a little bit in size, but they're almost like just pockets of dense smoke with arms, and they flow through the air in small packs. Some appear to be wearing like joyful masks, but the icy blue eyes betray their true nature as mischievous and borderline malicious. But they are far enough away that you catch them pretty early on. You would know these as Uragama. And they very much are wearing sort of a festival Oni mask of various styles. Each one slightly unique, but you've heard of these creatures. They can be dangerous encountered in large groups, and they do have a very mischievous, borderline sadistic nature to them. But they seem to be going quite a bit further away from you than you originally anticipate. You are kind of alert for a while until they begin to turn further northeast. But the night passes. You all get your full long rest, so you're welcome to mark off another long rest if you used any of your abilities that you would like to regain. As the morning comes swiftly. At this point, the rising sun is quickly evaporating the rainfall from the previous day. And you head further south now towards Lake Elior on the western edge. As you all begin your travels further south again, what would you like to do? Or is there anything specific you would like to do, I should ask?
No.
Nope.
I mean, I'll say I'll keep doing what I did last day, like trying to sketch it.
Okay. Go ahead and give me another survival check, if you don't mind. You can't really pinpoint any specific markers or anything. It's a bit difficult. You do definitely catalog the pathway that you're taking, but you can't really pinpoint any points of interest for your map.
Okay.
And unfortunately, you were asleep when the Uragama had passed overhead, so you did not make a note of these, unfortunately. But moving southward towards the western edge of the lake, about 3-4 hours pass by uneventfully, and you begin to hear the slowly flowing waters over one of the larger lakes in this region. And you see the sun glinting off as it goes higher and higher into the center of the sky. And you see the water, but what also catches your eye, all three of you, is a large caravan-like procession of Nakudama. Now, you know the Nakudama like your brief companion, Erdemi, the frog-like creatures of various sizes and colors. You see them scattered about. They're one of the older species here on the island of Obojima. You've just never seen this many in one place. And that strikes you as odd. You can see there's a trail of Nakudama. Like, probably 6 or 7 dozen people. And that's just what you see initially. Like, well beyond what you would expect to see this far out of a major metropolitan area. And definitely not this many specifically Nakudama. And that strikes you as odd. And they're all seemingly heading towards a location on the northern edge of the lake. And as you travel further south, you notice that there is a structure in the northern edge of the lake. Is anybody proficient in history?
No.
Shockingly, I am.
Really? Okay. Mipsy, give me a history check to see if you know what this location is called. I will tell you the DC is 12. Okay.
20.
It takes you a minute to remember, but you do recall that there was a historical site during the ancient Nakudama Empire in this region. It was known for being a pilgrimage for new families and Nakudama women who were about to give birth. That this location was a well-known hatchery for the Nakudama during the height of their empire. And you know with that 20 that it was known as the Temple of Shoom. And this is the location that you see as you approach the northern edge of the lake.
Oh, cool.
Cute.
You can see there's a small number of boats around this structure that's off kilter inside the lake itself. There are glyphs of ancient Nakudama writing all across this structure. And you can tell that Mipsy and Axel, you would know that this is probably one of the... Well, Mipsy, you've not been to this location, but I'm sorry, Mirage and Axel, you would know this is probably the deepest part of the lake. So this structure, what you see above the water, is probably only a fraction of what the size of this structure is. Probably, it could be anywhere from 3 to 4 times larger than what you're seeing here. This is just the part that's sticking above.
Warcraft.
Pardon?
Sorry. This looks like something very striking from World of Warcraft.
Really?
Yeah, there's like
Yes, it does.
I think it's
It
called
is
Sunken Temple.
Who knows? Maybe that's where it came from.
Could be.
Inspiration.
Oh, I see it now.
But
Sunken Temple.
you can see that this procession of Nakudama are heading towards the shore. And as you get closer and closer to this location, just offshore, you can hear their voices. Lots of them. And it sounds like an argument. What do you do?
How far are they from us?
Probably at this point you're about a quarter mile away, maybe a little bit less. Sorry, maybe. Sorry, I always forget that not everybody gets to deal with the wonderful freedom units that we deal with in the U.S. About
Google it.
probably about 400 meters. Maybe a little bit more than that. I don't know what the conversion is. Sorry. In America, we measure everything by eagles per gun. So
What?
Pretty much almost a half a kilometer.
is it half a kilometer? Okay.
Yeah, like
Okay. Then, yeah, there you go.
Good thing I use both.
Yeah. Yeah, we measure everything in eagles per gun or trucks per football. It means nothing and nobody cares because it was based off of bull crap. or beers per pickup truck.
What?
I mean, that's
I'm-
also Canada.
Fair enough. Anyway, you can definitely hear that there is shouting and arguing going on here. as you can see there are a number of what look like almost like Nakudama dressed in like nurses attire, or like they have these mixture of gowns with aprons, and they seem to be stopping people from or other Nakudama from getting into the lake, or trying to take small boats or anything, or just swimming over to this structure in the lake. You can see that there's some sort of argument going on at the shore. And this is directly behind where you see this structure here. It would be a lot of these people are gathering on the opposite side of what you see in this image. With that, what are you all doing?
Can we tell, like, what are they arguing, or are we a little bit too far to tell that?
Give me a perception check.
God.
It's hard to make out any real detail. You do hear the words danger. You hear the words spirits. And you hear the word people missing initially. But you need to get closer to figure out what's going on.
I mean, I'll get closer to listen.
I was gonna say, like, can I stealth a little bit to get closer so I can hear better?
I mean, you can certainly sneak up. No one's really paying you much mind. At this point, you can tell there's probably 80 to 90 Nakudama. The other thing that you notice, that you pick up on as you get closer, is these are a lot of, like, couples that are traveling here. And a lot of the female Nakudama seem to have developed a baby bump. They seem to be pregnant. Like a large number of them, large percentage of the female Nakudama that are in this caravan of travelers, which is even odder than the situation you've already seen in front of you. And Mipsy, you remember with that history check earlier, this used to be a hatchery. But you know that it has not been utilized in hundreds of years. So it is very odd that suddenly a large percentage of Nakudama are coming here. And a large number of these, the ones caravanning here and making this pilgrimage to the Temple of Shoom, are seemingly preparing to, give birth or, set down. You know that Nakudama lay eggs. Just from your experience.
Yeah.
That they hatch from eggs. Much like frogs do in our real world. It's just odd to you that so many of them would show up in this one location at this one time. When this location, this site, this ancient Nakudama Empire site has not been utilized as a hatchery in hundreds of years. Mirage, did you want to sneak? You certainly can.
I lost the group first and just like turn into Mipsy and Axel saying like, do you guys want to get closer? Do you want me to get closer?
Are you gonna
Or should
fall
we
this
just
time?
should we just
Oh, that's fun.
you can tell that when Mipsy said that, a little fear in my eyes. Like a flashback, of pain.
A little PTSD
comes
there.
into me. Yes.
You can still feel that mud on your face.
I mean, look down. Are you shoes tied?
I look down.
What's
there
funny
any
is
mud around here?
it's the rogue that rolled 2 1s in a row. That's what's even funnier. But
Or
anyway,
do you guys just want to walk like towards them, see if they need any help? Something's happening. Like I don't have to sneak and roll a 1.
By all means, you want to sneak? Give it a sneak.
I'm for it, but I'm just asking.
You know, kind of my pride wants to sneak.
It's all you. Do what you want to do. Okay.
Bro, you don't know how close a 2 was with that.
You step away from your companions and kind of follow the tree line, and you feel very confident that you haven't been seen as you get closer and closer to the front of this procession, this caravan of pilgrims, seemingly coming here to utilize the former temple as it's originally intended to be used as a hatchery. But as you get closer now, you can see just offshore this temple. I mean, it looks like an abandoned temple. It is very much in disrepair. You can see now that some of these individuals, the only ones that are on these little boats going to and from the shore to the Temple of Shoom, are all seemingly wearing these uniforms, and like these white aprons. Kind of, they almost are reminiscent of like a nurse. As you see this, give me a history check, Mirage, to see if you recognize what these uniforms are. Okay. You've heard rumors as you've wandered around in some of the larger cities. You're not sure what organization they're with, but you've heard of such individuals. And specifically, it makes sense in this location. These look like midwives. Basically, mostly women. Midwives? It's an older practice of women who would help other women who are in the process of giving birth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, before hospitals and nurses became a more common practice in our own, real world. Midwives were sort of professionals in the process of helping other women give birth. They would travel around and assist in that process. So it makes sense that they would be in this location, but it doesn't make sense that they are seemingly stopping people from coming to this spot. But as you get closer, now you can begin to hear the full conversation. And you see specifically a larger Nakudama woman who's in one of these uniforms. Let me go ahead and pull them up.
Oh, wow.
You can see she has a large pack on her back. She's wearing a red dress and a large white apron. And she seems to be scowling quite a bit. Especially so discussing with some of these people trying to get to the shore and either preparing to swim across the shore to the Temple of Shoom or are trying to utilize some of the boats utilized by these midwives. And you hear this Nakudama woman cry out to the group, all right now, I'll be telling you only one last time, and if you try and get into the water, I'll be dragging you out myself. It's too dangerous for you to go near the temple. Have I told you not? Are you lot just too stupid to understand? And you hear people arguing back. We traveled all this way to give birth. This is our birthright. This is our place. This is our temple. If you go in that water, there's a likelihood that you're going to be dragged down by some sort of spirit. We've already lost somebody, and I'm trying to find them out now. I'm not certain whether or not they're even among the living any longer. You want to join them? I've no qualms with taking you down myself and let you have a... What was that? I heard some weird music in the background. Sorry.
Yeah.
Kids.
Nope, I have my mic muted.
But anyway, you can see this larger Nakudama woman. She's probably close to about the same size as you, Mirage. Quite a bit taller than your typical Nakudama woman. Probably about 5 to 5.5 feet tall. I don't know what that is in meters or centimeters. I apologize. But she's basically in the process of telling people to scuttle off, basically, in a nice way. And as that's happening, another one of these midwives rushes up to her and is like speaking to her as she leans down to listen. What do you mean she's gone missing too? By the Great Spirit. I haven't got time for this.
I go back to the group.
Okay.
Okay, guys. I didn't fall. So we're getting better. There's something happening in these waters. Something dangerous. Spirit of some kind that's dragging people to the bottom of it. And people is coming here to give birth, but they cannot get to the temple. So that's the situation. Will you guys want to get near and see what's going on? If we can help or in any kind?
How many of them are pregnant that we can see?
Probably about 2 dozen Nakudama women.
Is anybody proficient in medicine? No, just kidding.
Yes, but I have another idea. I can't believe I prepped this spell for safety in case we needed another place to sleep. And it's gonna work out potentially quite fine. I could start making rituals and building huts for people.
Making Rick rolls? I heard Rick.
Pretty much.
What's this? Sand structure. Oh, okay. Okay. All right, so a wall of sand that is 5 feet tall, 5 feet wide, and 1 foot thick material from the ground up in unoccupied space that can see within range. The sand functions as a solid stone. While is the wall AC is 13, 10 points, reducing the wall to 0 points. Blah 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 blah. You can end the spell. Does it say? It says for 1 minute.
Read that last line as a ritual.
Okay. I'm sorry. If you cast a spell as a ritual, the wall lasts until it is destroyed or dismissed. Okay, understood. So explain to me what you're trying to do with your sand structure, because there is a lot of sand around here. You could certainly do it.
But wouldn't it be nice to get near first than doing it just randomly?
I mean, somewhere close by, obviously, where I'm going to do it. Basically, you know, times of war where they just have like the medical tents. Basically, that's what I'm intending.
So you're trying to make temporary accommodations for these Nakudama women and these travelers.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say you'd probably need to cast it multiple times, probably about half a dozen times. So it'd probably take you about an hour to make a sufficient amount of temporary lodgings to do it, but you could certainly do that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Where do you want to start, and what form do you try to cast this ritual and create this temporary hut of sand? This sand, what I guess, field medic office. I don't know what you want to describe it as.
Yeah. Where would be the closest spot for them to travel the least amount of distance?
I mean, there's plenty.
not in
This
the way.
shore is covered in sand. You're not that far off. I mean, you could put it
Alright,
just
so-
about anywhere.
Put it the closest so they don't need to travel.
Okay. You begin casting the ritual, and at first no one pays you any mind. But by the time you're finished with this first structure and it begins to take shape, and you can describe to me what sort of shape this thing takes. You've now caught the attention of people. And as you go to create a second identical structure, about halfway through, you've now caught the eye of some of these midwives. Specifically, this main individual who's been kind of halting anyone from getting in the water. And now people are beginning to look at you and wonder what you're doing. You see there's a very pregnant Nakudama woman that steps up. Are these for us? Are you here to help us?
Yes, of course.
Oh, thank you. Can we go in?
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much. We've been traveling for 4 days. And you can tell she is exhausted, and very pregnant. So, yeah. As she steps in, you get a nod from her companion, her partner, as they sort of step into one of them. And at this point, when the first person, or the first Nakudama steps in, you can see the others are like, have all kind of turned their attention to you at this point. And as you're about 3/4 of the way through creating this second structure, these midwives have now started approaching your group. And right as you're putting up the second one, this main midwife has now stepped up close enough and addresses you. All right. What do you all be doing here? What in
Assisting.
assisting in what, might I ask?
These pregnant people who finally deliver.
Are you some sort of doctor?
No.
Then what brings you here? You just troll up and decide you're going to build some houses for everybody? I don't mean to be rude, I'm just confused as to why you're here. And why all these people are here. This is no longer a hatchery. At least not yet it isn't. It's definitely not prepared for anyone to give birth in such a dangerous place. I appreciate what you're trying to do. I'm just confused as to why you're doing it.
I'm being nice, and my friends here have business.
Business with what, might I add?
Me personally, don't know. Remember, there was a letter needing to be delivered, and that's about it.
To an abandoned temple?
I don't know where they're going. I'm just following to make sure they're safe.
As this conversation is going on, Axel and Mirage, what are you doing?
Can I? In which part? Like, are we near? Like on the sand near the water? Or are we still?
Yes, you're on the sand. That's what he's building these structures out of, the sand structure.
Can I like look to the lake to see if I see something? I don't go in it, but like from the shore.
Yeah, give me a perception check. Okay. In this part of the lake, it is very dark and deep around the temple itself. and it's hard to tell, especially with the sheen of the sun rising over the top of the lake and kind of making it difficult to see deeper and deeper. But what you do see is there are large pockets of, I mean, you can see fish and other wildlife in the water. What you also see, there is movement, and it's a bit abnormal, as it's not really like flowing with the water. It seems to be rooted around the base of this structure that goes quite deep into the all the way down to the bed of the lake. You can't really get a grasp of what these shadows are, but you just ever so briefly catch them at a glimpse. They seem odd because they're not really flowing with the rest of the water like a lot of the fish and other wildlife are. And there seems to be several of them all around the base of the temple.
But it's not doing anything to the animals of the lake.
No, not that you can see. You don't see anything like suddenly vanish or, bubbles or any type of struggle below the water. But you do see that there are dark, large shadows deep near the base of the... You can't really tell how deep the temple is, but you can see it goes very far down. Like, you would imagine, just rough estimate, this is maybe only... The part that you see above the water is maybe only a quarter of the size of this actual structure.
In that case, I just after that get close to Mimsy.
I don't know what's been happening. Everything's going crazy all of a sudden. I've got loads of people trying to come and give birth in an old temple that we're trying to restore. I got people missing. I've got dangerous entities below the water. I can't do my job. And now I've got you here building structures? I appreciate you giving these people a place to stay after such a long trip, but you're giving them hope, lad, where they don't rightfully need it. They need a dose of reality here. And that's coming from someone who's trying to help them. I can't have them here for very long. There's no telling what else is in that water.
The people missing has gone in that water?
No. They've gone missing inside the temple. And unfortunately, I'm having to waste my time out here trying to stop these people from being foolish and going inside a dangerous place or going into water filled with dangerous creatures.
Currently, it looks like you're wasting your time talking to us. Not doing your job.
She scowls even harder. Look, I'm with a group trying to bring this place back to once it was. But I can't be doing that with a bunch of people stepping into another eye's unprepared, unsanitary, dangerous place. Do you not understand? This is no place for a person to give birth right now. History or not.
And is this the only place? Isn't there another one?
Of course
you
not.
can just tell them to go somewhere else?
That's what I've been trying to do. But some of them have come halfway across the island. Some of them as far as the eastern edge where the corruptions come from. There's no telling what they'll be going back to. I understand where they're coming from, but I can't have them here in danger. Especially not with the head of our organization up and gone and missing herself.
And you haven't hired anyone to go into that temple, have you?
Look, me myself, I was once a capable adventurer, not unlike the three of you. But these ladies here, they're no fighters. They're caretakers, they're midwives. They're here to try to help, and I've asked them to do the best they can, but this is no means a facility prepared for such a thing. And these people all seem to be pulled to whatever is in that place. And heaven forbid they go in and something happens. I can't be held responsible for it. I won't have that blood on my hands. I won't have any more people going missing simply to try to give birth in this specific place. It's not ready. It's too dangerous.
I'll look at my stand structure. Pretty sure it's ready.
Mipsy, give me a persuasion check.
Of course. Oh my god.
With a -1.
Beatrice! Carly, come here. Get as many people as you can into the structures. Do what you can for them. Tell them they are not to try and get in the water. Tell them if they need to give birth, they can do it here at the shore. So what's your plan? Put up temporary accommodations here across the shore for all these people?
If I have to, I will.
You're a crazy lot,
I
you
look
are.
at Axel to see what he's doing.
Axel, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm just chilling, tuning my loot.
Okay.
Oh, you're looting at your guitar?
Exactly, yeah.
Fine. Do what you can. Put up as many of these sand castles as you can. But if any of them try and get into the water, I'll be knocking them out cold myself. Is that clear? Carly? Rosie? Get on over here. Do what you can. And you can see there's about 4 or 5 midwives. Each one has kind of taken up station in the buildings that you've already created. And you can see that some of these people are already beginning to take residence in these temporary accommodations, but a few are still trying to get towards the water. And you can see at this point, she reaches over her shoulder and grabs this thick, like hardwood net and stands in between them, almost like she's carrying a spear. I already be warning you. You get in the water, I'll be dragging you right back out, conscious or not, you understand? They've given you a place to stay. If you need to give birth, you do it in there. But don't you be dare going in the water.
Question. Is there any wind coming?
I mean, there's a gentle breeze today, but there's not like a
okay.
stiff wind.
Question 2. Is it going towards that temple?
At just a glance, it doesn't seem to be going in any particular direction. It just seems to be flowing over the surface of the water.
Damn. Okay. Well, there goes that idea. Because I would have brought this stupid asshole to the fucking temple.
Nevertheless, do you continue making these structures?
Yes.
Okay. As stated, it takes you about an hour to construct 6 of these temporary structures, enough that everyone is able to fit comfortably in these temporary locations. And you can see that this main midwife has basically directed the members of her group to kind of see after each one of the buildings. And now that the sort of, at least the situation for the time being is diffused, she approaches the three of you once more. I appreciate what you've been doing. I understand I can be a bit overbearing, but I'm here to protect people, not... No more, no less. My name's Zelda of the Nokudama Midwives. We've came here because we're trying to put this place right again, so it can be used for its intended purpose. But as I've said multiple times now, it's dangerous. There's no telling what's inside the deeper levels of the ziggurat. We've only managed to get down to level 3, and we've had 2 people go missing, including our leader. Beatrice was here this morning. She went down to level 2, supposedly checking out the entrance to the following level, down to the main levels of the hatchery, and she hasn't come back. I'm terrified what might be down there. There are horror stories to this place, and I thought they'd just be that, stories. But it seems we've found ourselves in a right pickle here. I can't spare any more people, and I won't be putting any more of my people in danger. Much less any more of these pilgrims. I don't know why, what's drawing them here. I've never seen this many all at once. Occasionally we'll get a handful, 1 or 2, who want to give birth in the ancient temple, and we have to tell them to find another place, unfortunately. Or we have to deliver the eggs upon the shore. But ever since the tsunami and the earthquake, all of a sudden, dozens and dozens every week, we have to turn them away.
You want us to investigate that temple?
Give me a persuasion check with advantage, Mipsy.
Oh, God. That's more like it. Also, why do you guys let me do the talking?
I mean, you're the one talking, asking the questions.
I would have held
As Mipsy is saying this, you can see she is about to let Mipsy have it. As she's about to go off on him, Axel and Mirage, what are you doing during this conversation? If you'd like to assist in this situation, otherwise you can see it's going south quickly.
I'm gonna let Axel handle that, and I'm gonna get near the shore. Well, it depends. I do have some questions of the things I want to do. So
Okay.
I want to get near the shore and cast Find Familiar.
Okay.
Oh, was it Find Familiar?
It's similar to Find Familiar. It's your wax magic, correct?
Yeah. Would it be able to go on water? Would you say?
You could. I think you can make it whatever style you want. If you want to go ahead and post it in the chat, there's a way you can send to chat the wax magic that you're trying to use. I might be able to do it on my end. Give me just a moment here. Yes.
Oh, well,
yeah.
it says Find Familiar.
Yeah, Find Familiar. Well, Find Familiar is
Like,
the spell, but the
Yeah.
I don't know if there were stipulations based on your wax magic specifically for that. Give me just a moment here. I gotta pull it back up. Because it said it's sort of like Find Familiar, but it's not exactly like Find Familiar because it goes away after a certain time.
Oh, it keeps everything. Oops.
No. You're good. You're good. Let me find it. let's see. Class features. Let's see. Waxlings. Here we go. As an action, you can spend 2 wick points to summon a Waxling, casting the Find Familiar spell with the following changes. Your Waxling Familiar uses the statistics of a rat. Okay. In place of an animal familiar, imbue life into a candle, causing it to grow appendages and eyes. You can command the familiar to touch a flammable object that isn't being worked or carried to ignite it. The familiar sheds bright light in a 5-foot radius and dim light for an additional 10 feet. You can't temporarily dismiss the familiar. The familiar is dismissed permanently after 1 hour. Okay, so, or it hits 0 hit points. You can have more than one of these familiars at a time. Okay.
But morally, my question would it work the same if I can see through it?
Yeah, I mean it would. Yeah, you could definitely see through it. I'll tell you what. It doesn't really specify what shape it takes, other than that it's a candle. So technically, you could shape a candle into whatever shape you wanted. So if you wanted to shape it in, are you trying to put something in the water? Is my guess.
Yeah, like a fish.
Okay, I don't see why you couldn't shape the candle into a fish. If that's what you're trying to do.
Would a fish be okay?
Yeah, that's fine. If you want to.
Okay, I'm gonna try it out.
Okay.
I'm gonna spend 2 key points. No, it's not key points. Weak points.
Okay. So go ahead and mark off 2 of your wick points.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna do a shape similar to a fish.
Okay.
And I'm gonna throw it in the water.
Okay.
Make it towards the temple and go in it.
Okay.
So I can see in the temple.
So as you...
So I'm sitting on the shore just
Yes.
Look at
You sit down on the shore just in front of the water, cross-legged. Because as you look through your familiar's eyes, you cannot move. And you are not seeing and perceiving what's around you. You're seeing and hearing everything through the eyes of your familiar. So as you chuck this wax fish into the water, the flame still stays lit, and it gives off this soft blue light, and surprisingly stays lit underwater with the magic of your wick points and your wax magic. And you perceive the movement looking through the eyes of this fish, looking down. I don't know if I ever sent you the rat stat block, but I can do it. I did? Okay, so you have that stat block. Search
for it, but you did.
Right. Okay, so you are heading towards the base of the ziggurat, the Temple of Shoom. As you go below the water, does the rat have dark vision? I think it does. It should say if it does.
It does, yes. Okay. Dark vision, 30 feet, yes.
So everything around you is in a shade of black and white. Mm-hmm. You do not perceive color, which is appropriate because I don't have a color image of this. But this is what you see below the surface of the water. This is the actual scale of the ziggurat, the Temple of Shoom. You can see the portion that's above water versus the portion that is below water. This is what you initially see as you cast this waxy fish into the water. As you swim it towards the base of the ziggurat, go ahead and give me another perception check. Using the rat stat block, so it should have. Yeah. So
it's not this one. Okay.
Right. So that would be a 12 plus whatever the rat's perception is. Which I think is like a +1 or something like that.
Perception. How would I know which one is it?
So it should be your wisdom modifier, which is a +1. So yeah. So it'd be a 13 total.
Mm-hmm. Well, the rat says wisdom +0.
The one I'm seeing. Oh, it says wisdom on your end +0. Okay, so that'd just be a straight 12. Let's see. Keen smell.
It does have keen smell.
So you could use smell, which would give you advantage if you wanted to try to perceive smell in the water. If you want to roll again. You can just roll your perception and we'll take your modifier and off of it. So you'll get some slightly different information. Okay, so you're better on the previous one. As you swim closer towards the ziggurat, you can see that it is the foundation of this structure is buried in the rocky base of the lake. There is like watery foliage coming up all around this place, and you can see there are openings all around the mouths of these glyphs and openings, and you can tell that at some point these were open. They were some sort of mechanism for these areas. You can tell there's a total of 6 layers to this structure. Above the water, you can really only perceive 2. There are another 4 layers deep below the waves of the lake. And as you sort of skirt around the base of the ziggurat, you see that there are these openings, some sort of mechanism, some sort of valve system, these deals, but they are all entirely shut right now. You don't see any openings below the water. And as your waxy familiar is swimming around and around, you get the feeling that you're being followed below the water. Rapidly. And you can feel the sensation of the pressure of the water moving around you. What is the AC of the rat? It should say towards the top. I would assume it's like 10 or 11.
It's 10.
It's 10. So that hits. You feel something wrap around you with the eyes of your fishy familiar, and as it wraps around you, it's like this sludgy, like something like organic yet firm wraps entirely around and begins to crush and drag you backwards into a dark void of tangling organic material as it pulls you into this dark space, and you feel this crushing force before your familiar is no more, and you snap back to your own body. Something has destroyed your wax familiar below the waves.
Could I have seen anything of what caught the familiar? Like the rat?
What
the
you
fish?
saw and felt was like being wrapped up in vines, but it was slimy and tape-like, and it dragged you into some other like entangling like mass of some kind, and then all that mass just caved in on you and crushed it.
Oh, so it crushed. Like it didn't.
Yeah, you got
Crushing
this
into the floor,
awful, like claustrophobic crushing force, as if you got swallowed and immediately crushed from all directions inside of whatever it was attacked you from behind.
Okay, I want to stand up and get like near them and explain just everything you said, because I cannot repeat
Sure.
all of that
Sure.
to the group.
Do you say that in front of Zolda?
No. I
Just
will
to
be like,
Axel and
yeah.
to Axel and Mipsy. Axel, Mipsy, as Mirage explains what just occurred below the waters near the base of the ziggurat and the actual structure of the ziggurat itself, how do you react to what you've just heard?
Okay. So
Does this sound like that corruption things we have seen?
Pardon?
Like the corruption evil spirits that we've seen back with the Telly brothers? Is it something similar?
Give
In
me
nature?
Give me a nature check. This is gonna be pretty high.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nope.
You're unsure. It's hard to say based on the description you got. Without seeing it directly through
Yeah.
the eyes, it's really hard to tell. I mean, crushing, entanglement, and I mean, it could be any number of things. It doesn't really narrow it down all that much. All you know is there is definitely something dangerous below the waves. Or below the lake's surface, I should say. Not really waves. It's fairly flat. But Axel, as both your other companions are either discussing with Zelda or trying to figure out what's going on around this structure, what are you doing?
Can I look around, like, towards the bottom? Like, I know, like, the whole thing, like, if they want us to go lower, like, kind of, like, peek around or try to, like, look over in that area, that vicinity.
Towards the bottom of the temple, the ziggurat?
Yeah.
It's hard to say. It gets quite dark as you see towards the base, and with the explanation you got from Mirage, it's definitely something you would need dark vision to see much deeper. You can definitely tell that the structure, and from what she described, goes a lot deeper. The part you see above the water is only like a quarter of the structure. Like, you barely see the first 2 levels of the structure. There's another 4 below the water that are even larger. Like, almost like a pyramid. Like, there are steps to it, but it goes quite a bit deeper towards the where it's actually coming up out of the base of the lake. Go ahead and give me a perception check. Okay. You also see what appears to be some sort of shadowy shapes around the base of the ziggurat. You're not sure what they are, but they definitely kind of align with what Mirage just told you happened below the water. And there's several of them. And definitely gives credence to Zelda's statement about not going in the water. At least not swimming in the water, I should say.
Something tells me that we're gonna end up fighting these things for whatever reason.
I mean, we just walk away. We don't have to.
But going back to your conversation, Mipsy. At this point, Zelda is, you can see the scowl has turned into just almost intense anger. I appreciate what you've been doing, but you're stepping into business you have no right to. I won't have your blood on my hands. If you're foolish enough to step into that temple without understanding what could be in there, what we don't understand was in there, and could still be there, or if you're stupid enough to get into that water, then know that that danger is on you, and you alone.
I'll just start twirling my finger towards the water and just slowly spin it in a circle.
Okay.
She does something to me. I'm gonna push her into a bubble and push her towards that temple.
Zolda,
Mm-hmm.
is there a saving throw for that?
I'm putting it on her weapon, so there's no saving throw to this.
Even though she's holding the weapon?
Mm-hmm. Because I did this with the kid that was floating away.
That's right. Okay. Okay.
I'm just preparing myself.
Okay. So you're casting, what is it, bubble?
I'm just using shape water.
Oh, shape water. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm just preparing myself for this.
Okay.
Have you gone over there yet?
What have you been doing? Hi! What are you doing with me? What are you doing with me net? Bring it back here!
No. You answer my question.
What do you want to know? We're trying to restore the place, but it's too damn dangerous.
It's too dangerous. You can assist us. Can you not?
Assist with what? Getting yourself killed?
I mean, if you don't assist us, that structure could fall at any moment.
The structure ain't going anywhere. It's been there for hundreds of years. It's not the structure I'm worried about. It's the people dumb enough to go into it.
I'm pointing out my structures.
Oh, you mean the sand sculptures. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm pointing at those ones.
By the blessings of the spirits, look. Without our leader here, we have no means of communicating back to the rest of our group. I have no idea whether they're even alive in that temple any longer. If you want to put your neck on the line, I'm not going to stop you any longer. I'm going to see to it that these people are safe for the time being. But I can't be having a bunch of pregnant women going in that water. If you want to go in and explore and try to find what's been happening in there and find, I appreciate it. But know that your blood is not on my hands. I warned you. I warned you good and well.
Oh, you did. Your sister's with you. You think they're capable of handling this on their own?
Of course not. They're a bunch of midwives. They're not fighters. You can see, and as you look around, you can see.
Women's.
Pardon me?
I'm talking about the pregnant woman. I don't care about fighting.
Yes, they can take care of them. That's what their job is.
And you can assist us as well.
Fine. You bring my net back, and I'll take you over there on one of the boats, and I'll show you where you need to go.
Oh, you're coming with us.
I need to stay here and make sure these people don't jump in the water. But I can point you in the right direction. If you can find Beati. If you can find her.
Without using a ritual, I'll just use sand structure, and
Okay.
I will also crush at the same time.
Crush what?
The same sand structure I just summoned.
Fine. You need me to point you in the right direction. I'll go as far as level 2. That's as far as we've gone.
You think that's going to be enough for us, guys?
That's as far as I know.
I mean, do we want to go to the temple?
So you guys.
Seems like we're gonna be going that way, so sure.
All right.
Fine. First, Minette. I needed to steer the ship.
I'll bring her to the net.
She snatches it up out of the bubble of water. For such a small little one, you're a real horse's ass, you know that? She steps onto the little skip boat and begins to prep it to push away from shore.
Like I said, I make sure my people are protected.
As do
Before
I.
doing that, oh wait,
Go ahead.
are we going through to the temple now?
You tell me.
Because like if we are, I just want to see if I can leave like my books or anything so that they don't get like wet. Like with somebody can take care of them.
You step into one of the sand structures and you can see one of the midwives is assisting. She's in the process of cleaning some rags and getting them prepared as some of the more ready to burst Nakadama women are. Yes, can I help you?
Hi, we are going to take a look to the temple to see if there's anything we could do. Would you mind keeping my books in a corner? Just where...
Sure. There. Yeah, leave them over there by the supplies, and nobody's going to mess with them over there. This my things are over there.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
Night.
You're not really going in the temple, are you?
Hopefully we could just take a look around, but who knows? We might just take a look inside. Very carefully though.
May the spirit's protection be with you, darling. That's no safe place right now.
We will try to make it a safe place.
Of course, but best of luck to you. As she, grabs the rags that she had in the water basin that she was preparing to assist some of the women. But
so now I go back to everybody.
You can see Mipsy and Zilda have already boarded the small skip vessel. You can see it has a small cover on it, not unlike the one on the far right here. You can see it has like a small covered space on a larger vessel. Probably could take over a dozen people or onto it, but right now it's just the four of you. Will we be going now, or are you gonna? You looking for a little in-flight snack or something? What are we waiting for?
I'm ready.
Okay. Does everybody board the ship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You all step aboard, and Zolda pushes off with an impressive amount of force. She definitely is dressed like a midwife, but she has the strength and the bearing of a seasoned adventurer. She pushes the vessel off the shore, begins using the extended staff. It's as if it stretches out further as she begins to push away, almost like a large oar or some sort of like steering apparatus, and begins to push the ship far harder than what you would expect, and it begins to propel it towards the ziggurat and the small makeshift pier that's been constructed here at the base of the staircase. It takes about 5-6 minutes before you dock on the end of this pier. You can see it's quite misshapen, definitely not a well long-term constructed, but just made for sort of a temporary attachment point to the actual ziggurat itself. as she ties it off and steps ashore, or steps onto the dock. Well, come on. Wait a bit. We better be on our way. I don't want any more of them coming, and then any of them stepping into that water. So the sooner I can get you where you need to go, and sooner I can explain, the sooner I can get back here and assist with my people. Is that acceptable?
I suppose.
Very well. As I've stated, we haven't gone that far down into the depths of the temple, only down to the lower levels of level 2. She takes you up the stairs here along the outer edge. You can see there's a large entrance that you couldn't see before from the side of the ziggurat that you saw from the shore. But as you step down into the temple, it gives an ominous atmosphere as you enter in. As sound seemingly is cut off by these thick stone walls here for many years, and you can smell there is a dank, musty smell of stagnant water at this upper portion where the winds have blown it into this opening and left it there to dry out in the sun, but also areas that have not dried out where water has become stagnant and dirty over time as dirt is blown in through this entrance and coated the entrance with a thick layer of dirt and slime and sludge. Give me just a moment here. As you step into the first main reception area of the ziggurat, the Temple of Shoom, Zelda leads you to this main reception area. It is covered with Nakudama iconography. You can tell that there are makeshift scaffolds placed all around this sort of 10 to 12 foot tall area. You can see that they've been in the process of revitalizing this space, as well as researching some of the old glyphs around the walls of the Temple of Shoom. It is quite empty here. You can see that there's been a collection, various like bins have been placed where they've collected broken pottery and old what has remained mostly like remaining masonry more than anything else, and pottery and ceramics. Everything else has kind of deteriorated and just been lost to time. Anything that was hung on the walls or anything like that that was of a lesser grade material. You can hear the flowing of water outside, even in this upper portion, splashing on the outside walls, but you can tell that it is quite thick, even at this point in time. You don't see any signs of leaking or breaking of the outer walls. They seem to be made to last hundreds of years, if not thousands of years, even with the impact of nature over time. Give me just a moment here. I'm trying to find something specific. You can also see as she guides you deeper into this first level of the temple. There are separate little rooms scattered about that seem to be designed with interior shelving and storage and things of that nature. These were likely quarters of the midwives that used to be their precursors, their predecessors in these spaces that would assist pilgrims to this location. If I can get everybody to give me a perception check. Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
Axel and Mipsy, you see it on one of these walls in this the central part of this main chamber. There seems to be some sort of stone lever or mechanism that catches your eye as Zolda passes by, leading you deeper in. What do you do?
Question. How far away is the boat?
The boat is outside. You can't even see it anymore. You are inside the first level of the temple.
Oh, okay, because if she was walked in first, I was going to do something with that
Oh,
boat.
I'm sorry. Yeah, if you wanted to do something upon entering the temple, yeah, by all means, go ahead.
When she gets steeper, I'll be holding back.
Okay.
I'm going to use bubble lift and have that boat float back to shore.
Okay.
She's stuck with us.
Wow.
Do you try to hide this, or you just do it?
Damn.
And how much
All
can
it is
weight
is a
can
verbal
your
component spell.
Okay, how much can you lift with bubble lift is my question. How big?
500 pounds.
500 pounds? I don't think that's enough to lift this boat. This boat weighs a little bit more than that. Because this is like a 12-person boat.
Oh, it's a 12-person? Oh, okay. I was
Yes.
thinking more like a rowboat.
Yeah.
Never mind.
You could certainly try, but it would require an additional roll if we wanted to do that. And it would be quite high given the size of this boat.
Yeah. I mean, I could have cast it to 1,000, but...
It's up to you.
Never mind.
Okay. That's why I asked the weight capacity of bubble lift.
Yeah.
Because it's like the boat that you see on the far right there. It's quite large.
Oh, yeah, no, that's correct.
It's not the rowboat that you see next to it.
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
Okay.
if it's that rowboat, it's going back to shore.
Okay.
She's stuck with us. Like I said. Nope. Okay. Mipsy will be a good boy. Mipsy's going in.
Anyway, is there anything between the time that you step in and the time you see this mechanism that you would like to do, or what do you do as you see this large stone mechanism on the wall? It does catch your eye, among other things. You can see that it is some sort of operable device built into the masonry.
So what do you know about this thing? If I'm just pointing at it.
It's
The device.
part of the main evacuation mechanism. And by evacuation, I mean to allow water to enter and exit the structure. It's one of two mechanisms. We haven't found the other lever yet. This is the first one, but we wouldn't want it to be activated inappropriately. That's why they likely had multiple that had to be triggered simultaneously in order to remove or add water to the structure itself. You see, Nokodama eggs require a certain amount of natural mineral water. This location is prime for that. Hence why it was originally built here by the ancient Nokodama Empire. But anyway, we'll be descending down, and she points to this spiraling stone staircase that's going further down to the level below. The This will be the main waiting area for expecting mothers looking to bear their young eggs here in the ziggurat. And then below that we haven't quite entered, at least not the majority of us. Beatri was heading down there to inspect it initially before inviting anyone else, and that's when she's gone missing. But here on level 2 is where and as she begins to descend down, explaining this to you all, this is where expecting mothers would wait on and before being escorted into the actual hatchery by a midwife. As she guides you down this spiraling stone staircase, what are you all doing?
I'll be looking around.
Okay. Give me a perception, Nipsey. Or another perception check. Okay. You see down here that there are... Why am I hearing an echo? I keep hearing it.
Oh, Monique.
Monique? Yeah, I think you might have an echo on your end.
Is it me?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
There?
You good now?
Oh, I just heard it.
Never mind.
Oh, hold on. Test, 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 test. Okay, I don't hear it anymore. Okay. As you head down into this space, you see that there is an old derelict vending machine. Not unlike the ones that you saw in Okiri Village. But as you approach it, it is not lit. And the glass front of it is extremely dirty and covered with algae and mildew. And you don't sense any presence in it. Most of the time, these machines usually have some sort of governing spirit to them, some sort of minor spirit, either that directly has ties to the machine or the location, or is some sort of minor familiar or has ties to the owner of the machine itself. But you don't sense anything occupying this machine. You also see several what look like cabinets of some sort, except the bottom portion is square or rectangular, and the top portion kind of slopes back, and there is a glass-like front to it. And in front of that glass-like front, there seem to be some sort of smooth mechanisms in 2 locations in the front. And it's extremely faded, but at one point you would imagine it was quite colorful, and there were images of all sorts of things on the side of these stone shelf cabinets, whatever you want to call them. They definitely look like some sort of first age technology. Axel, it's been some time, but you have seen these before. At least one's in better condition than this. These are first age arcade cabinets.
Oh.
You've never seen ones in such severe disrepair as this, but they are first age arcade cabinets.
Point out tap Axel's. You're the robot man. What do you know?
I'm just looking at my stuff real quick. I thought I had something for this.
While that's going on, Mirage, you also notice there's an old series of bookshelves with a collection of reading material, likely just to occupy people's time, the families of those coming here to lay their eggs. There's quite the collection. Some of them are in better shape than others. Some have deteriorated to almost mush. But the ones that you see that are in better condition are the ones that were hardcover bound books or leather bound books that have sustained for long periods of time. And there seems to be a whole collection of a particular series called Ava and the All-Stars Collector's Edition books. A sort of closest thing to a comic book series, if you will, but hard leather-bound books. Okay. Yes, let's see, what does it say here? Give me just a moment. You have a knack for machines and can tell what state one is, and by spending a few minutes with it, machines that have been sundered or are unusual should be scrapped for parts. Machines in disrepair could potentially function again if someone fixed them up. Functioning machines do just that, function. You can tell that these could probably be repaired fairly easily. They're just they look worse than they are. In fact, the right application or the right sort of tools and or magic could certainly see to some of them functioning almost immediately.
Magic, you say?
Yes.
I
So you
clicked the
cast
wrong
Jolt.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I
you
can cast Jolt on a machine.
Okay. You cast Jolt on one of the machines, and it suddenly lights up with a splash of color and sound. Sort of this 8-bit or 16-bit era sound that gives you pause and a bit of nostalgia, and fully confirms what you thought before, that these are, in fact, arcade cabinets.
I love my Nakutendo.
God damn it. Yeah, this one seems to be an arcade cabinet of the Super Dara brothers.
Classic.
Very old, but very classic arcade cabinet. As Mipsy and Axel are looking at the arcade cabinets, Mirage, what are you doing?
I want to go through the books.
Okay.
Giving like a quick glance to some of them.
Okay. Give me an investigation check, if you don't mind. Okay. As you flip through some of the books, you notice that there's what looks like a page that's either been torn out or it's just shoved in there haphazardly, and you notice it sticking up out of the top of it. It's not part of the book. It's some sort of scroll that someone's put in here, and as you open up that particular volume of Ava and the All-Stars, you open it up and find it is a spell scroll. It is a spell scroll of daylight. And you are certainly welcome to pocket it.
I will will give a quick glance and I'll pocket it for sure.
Okay. It is definitely not part of the book. Somebody had shoved it in there. But as you explore this area, you can tell that Zelda is getting a little frustrated. Well, did you come to explore the amenities, or did you come to try to find our missing people? We're nearly at the next floor. Come along.
Yes, we're trying to find the missing people.
In this place of the books, was there like anything perhaps somebody of those one who are missing might have left, like notes or something?
With that investigation check that you made, you didn't see anything that looks like notes left by anyone. At least no one, you saw little scribbles in the book, but they look like they were ancient.
Part of the book.
They've been there forever. Yeah, there was definitely nothing in here that gave you pause that somebody recently had gone through this. In fact, there was a pretty thick layer of dust on top of these books. And even that spell scroll of daylight that you found, it was covered in dust, and definitely the page itself was fairly yellowed. So it was not put in there anytime recently.
Nice.
All right. Last we left off here in the ziggurat, we had just found this entrance, and she pushes open one of these stone doors, and you can tell it is the scent of... It's not scent of stagnant water, but it's definitely like not quickly moving water. It doesn't smell fresh down here. It smells like low tide. Like a dingy, like muddy water. As you head towards, and you can see that the stone steps are taking you deeper down into the larger, lower levels of the Temple of Shoom. Let me just hold that other... I don't really have a floor plan for you, but as you get down to the base of the stairs, Zelda pauses for a moment, but allows you to see and, see her and see also where you're coming down into. It is quite dim in this area. There is no natural light source here. So any of those of you that do not have dark vision, or
Which is all of us.
Yeah.
So you all have a struggle seeing very far here. I don't think... Let me double check here. I forget if the Nakudama have dark vision. I think they do? Question mark? Hold on. I don't remember the player options. I apologize. While this is happening, what you do see, at least initially, whereas the outside of this structure is very angular and square, this interior level, this third level, is the exact opposite. It is almost a perfect dome. It is spherical. It is smooth. It is very intentionally supposed to be this big atrium space. And you can see there are shelves and little pockets of captured water, which makes sense considering this was intended to be a hatchery, a place for the freshly laid eggs of the Nakudama that came to this space to leave their young for a time and stay with them until they were ready to completely hatch. Give me just a moment. Here we go. Nakudama. I don't see dark vision. Nope. Wow, that is a first. So nobody in the room has dark vision. Got it. Cool. You can see that on the wall is a more modern looking torch that someone has left here at some point. It looks like it's been out, and you don't smell any recently burnt residue on this torch. And you can see as Zolda picks it up off the wall and gets a flint and tinder out of her pack to try to light it. It's a bit dampened, and so it takes a few moments, but she is able to light up this torch. And now you see this big, expansive, perfectly spherical dome atrium space. And there is a lot of water in this space. Intentionally so, for the most part. This would have been one of the primary hatcheries. There are 2 more levels of this. And then, of course, the ancient royal hatchery chamber for members of the Nakadama Empire's royal family at the lowest levels. That would have been known as the Chamber of the Future Monarchs. And you can see even she at this point is looking around this space. But the water here is deep enough that you can swim. And it's cloudy, but you can see it's probably at most 5 or 6 feet deep in the middle. And there's little pockets and walls where you can see at some point would have been storage for the freshly laid eggs that were temperature controlled. You can see there are stone spaces to try to insulate these pockets of water. Now you don't see any eggs of any kind in this location. All of them are completely empty. They are covered with moss and dirt and debris that is just collected over hundreds of years of neglect and non-use. What would you all like to do?
So is this the furthest you guys gone?
This is where we had just found the entrance to this first hatchery layer, not but 2 nights prior. The hatchery was coming down here momentarily to research the area and confirm there was no danger. She stated she hadn't planned on going any deeper, and when we came to regroup and discuss, after I had gone back to the shore to stop people from coming into the waters, that is when Rosie had come to me and said that she has gone missing. She's the leader of our group and the eldest among us. What were you going to say, Mipsy?
I just said, I see, and that was it.
Okay. Mirage, Axel, what are you doing during this conversation?
But are we? I space out a little bit. We're looking to deeper water.
So in the middle portion, there's deeper water. and it gets shallow. You can see that it gets shallow, almost like it's a perfect curve in this main pool area in the middle, and then there are smaller little tide pools on the outsides where it's shallow, and eggs would likely have been stored in these locations.
Are there still eggs in it?
Not that you can see. And likely they would have long deteriorated at this point, and not survived without the care of the midwives or their parents.
Ooh, can I cast dancing light through that?
You can certainly cast Dancing Light. As you spread your... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, I cast dancing light, like, on the line to see, like, deeper as I can.
Okay. You cast your dancing lights. What sort of form do your lights take?
I mean, it's simple, just like a little, like, circle of light.
Okay.
Like, yeah, like a circle of light, yeah.
Okay. You spread your lights about, and as you do so, one of them skirting just across the surface of the water, you can see there are little forms in the water now that there's more light spread further deeper into this cavernous space. They sort of are amorphous in form, but there are definitely forms in the water.
Question, what is amorphous?
Amorphous means they don't really have like a consistent form. Like it's sort of ever changing.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, sorry. Amorphous just
No, it's
means
fine.
they are they don't really have a consistent form. I would say at most they're like little spheres that kind of stretch and elongate as they pass through the water. And then kind of sometimes they're more transparent, other times they're more opaque, where the light sort of sheens over them instead of passing through them. And this is what you see. Give me just a moment here. Give me a sec. A lot of little, what you imagine are some type of spirit. There's about a dozen of these throughout the waters in this space.
Can I try and throw, like, fruit? Like a little fruit? Piece of fruit?
Okay. Give me an animal handling check as you toss that piece of fruit out into the water.
Oh, my throwbacks. Oh, my fears. Okay.
Okay.
Hey.
You toss the
We're
fruit
done.
out into a small group of about 4 or 5 of these little spirits, and they all sort of scuttle up and surround it, and begin to nibble at it, and you can see this as your light kind of dances across the surface, illuminating these little spirits. You've got quite the knack for handling water spirits, you do, lady. A lassie. They're, I imagine these spirits were here in the ancient times, utilized to maintain the temperature of the water in a sort of symbiotic relationship. They would be fed by the midwives, and in exchange they would assist with comforting those giving birth, as well as maintaining the temperature of the water for the various hatchery stores in this area.
So this spirit has always been here.
Not necessarily these specific spirits, but spirits like them, based on what she told you.
Mm-hmm.
That they sort of were utilized to maintain the temperature of the water. And you can feel that it's warmer in this location. It's definitely not as cold as the lake water that you had experienced earlier. It's definitely a lot warmer and more tempered.
Would they look calm? Are they like
yes,
uncomfortable?
they seem to be calm right now. And they're definitely more jubilant. You can see that they are swarming this piece of food that you've thrown in the water. What are you all doing?
My pay grade at the moment, our friends, do we go deeper?
But it's deeper in the water, right?
Yes, to get across, you can see with your dancing light, you can see all the way across this chamber now. It's about 80, 90 feet. I don't know what that is in meters.
I have it here.
I would say about 30 or 40 meters, somewhere in that range.
30, 27.
Yeah, about 30 meters. Yeah. You can see that there's a similar door and some sort of staircase that kind of steps up and then goes down in a dried off staircase on the opposite side of this perfectly spherical, directly across from where you are now. There's no like pathway around the outside. Everything in this space is intentionally flooded. And you can see that Mipsy and Axel, you can kind of see, not unlike a sort of lock system with the ability to bring in more water. You can see that there are valves and openings, because at this point you would imagine you are below the surface of the lake. That mechanism that you saw earlier could be utilized to raise or lower the water level in these chambers, dependent on the need. But you don't see a mechanism in here like that one.
I mean, if you guys want to go through it, I have the lights so we can see at least.
But what you don't see with your lights is any sign of this missing Nakudama midwife.
Major issue at the moment is, you said this water's like 5 feet deep in the middle?
About 5 to 6 feet deep in the middle at its deepest. So about...
Yeah, my ass is short.
Yeah, for you, it's, about twice your height deep.
Yeah, because I'm only 2.5 feet.
Yeah. Axel, you could probably fully stand up, but you would be like, probably mid-chest height to, maybe a little above that. Mirage, you could probably... It would... If you stood in the deepest part, it would probably be just above the top of your head. Like, you could fully submerge and be fully upright in this water. At this point, I've not been any deeper into the temple. This was the last place that Beati had stepped into. We saw her here exploring this location early in the morning, and that was the last time we saw her. I pray to the Great Spirit she's all right. If your intent is to go further, I can't really be helping you. I've not gone any further deeper into the temple at this point, and I need to get back to see that my staff is okay, and that no one else tries to enter this location. If your intent is to go further, you'll be doing so blind. Do you understand the risks of what you're asking to do? I pray that Beati's all right, but I need to take care of everyone else that is still here. What were you going to say?
Very well. You're lucky that I did not make you stuck with us.
She gives you a deep, sharp scowl. I'll pretend I didn't hear that.
Kind of we're asking for it. All I'm going to say.
Know that I do appreciate what you're trying to do. But the danger's on your heads.
I mean, if we want to like push deeper, we can. But if we just take a while, I can recover my body again and send it one more time.
You can certainly take a short rest if you want to.
Yeah. I mean, I'm asking like Axel. I mean, to like saying this possibility of like if you guys, we can take a short rest and I can do it again and
I'm
see
okay with
if
that.
I see something.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Well, if you guys want to take a short rest, I don't think anyone's lost any hit points, but if you regain anything on a short rest, you can certainly do so. And regain those abilities. I think, Mirage, you do regain all or some of your wick points on a short rest?
All of them, yeah.
You do. Okay. So you regain your wick points.
I can recast it.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask, like, last time I did a fish, but do you guys know any other, maybe, like, other animal that could be better, or should I just send the fish again?
Well, what you do notice, Mirage, as you look here, this is definitely full of water, but when you get to the end, it becomes like a stone staircase again. So a fish would not be able to go quite as far, but I believe your familiar can take the form of just a floating candle, if that's the intent.
But can I see through it?
Yes.
Yeah, it will just
you still
have eyes. Yeah,
still
it does
functions
have
the same
eyes,
way.
right?
Yeah, it's basically like a floating Lumiere, sort of, is the best way I can describe it. Or you tell me. You choose what its form is.
Whatever its form is, I'm giving you the paper talisman on it.
On the creature? Well, on the thing that I'm casting?
The thing that you're making is going to get a paper talisman. So if it ever drops below 1 HP, it's at 1 HP.
Okay.
Um.
I think it only has
Gives
1
you enough
HP.
time
Okay, I'm gonna cast like a candle so it can. Well, yeah.
You create
And
another waxling. Axel and Mipsy, this is the first time you've seen this sort of wax magic. You've heard of it Axel, being from a more metropolitan city in Yataman, you've heard of this sort of wax magic that some of the courier brigade can utilize, but you've never seen it used like in person before. And Mipsy, you've seen the courier brigade, but you've never heard of this sort of type of magic before, and it's unique and very fascinating to see in person. As this little sentient candle familiar takes shape in your companion's palm and begins to just gently float into the air above the water. Mirage, do you want to look through the eyes of your familiar and send it deeper into the ziggurat?
Yeah, I will. But before that, I'm gonna like explain. Like I'm gonna do that. Like I'm gonna throw it into the water and see what's beneath, so we can see what's coming. But
You're
for
gonna
me to
throw it
see
in the water
through-
here?
What do you mean?
You're gonna throw it into the water here in this chamber?
Or where were we supposed to put it in?
I mean, it can float, it can swim, it doesn't really matter. You just took the form of a fish prior for flavor, really. But it can just float in the air.
Then I'm confused. Then where are we supposed to go through?
The only other exit in this location is directly opposite you. This room is a giant circle. And on the opposite side is the door leading deeper into the next level.
And that's where we're supposed to go, no? Well, we want to go.
That's the only other path you could see that a missing person might be.
Okay, then I'm gonna send it towards.
You don't see any body or any remains below the water here. It's clear enough. It's still dirty, but it's clear enough, and it's not deep enough that you can't see. The only movement you see in this chamber are from these water spirits.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm gonna send it through the place we think there's a missing person or somebody went missing.
Okay.
But as I'm sending it, I'm saying like I'm gonna go blind a little bit so I can
Look through its
see
eyes.
through my wax.
Okay.
So if anything happens, I can feel, no?
Yes, you'll
Like, if
see
somebody-
what
if
it
some-
sees. You'll feel
like,
what
if-
it feels.
But if somebody like if Axel or Mimsy like touches me, I can feel that, no?
I mean, yes, but your senses are locked with your familiar. But yeah, you can still hear them, but only briefly and like kind of like an echo in the back of your head. Your senses are the senses of your familiar. While
Okay.
you can't see anything other than what your familiar sees while you're linked to it.
Okay, then so I'm gonna like just grab into Axel and say like anything, to just move and drag me and I'll come back.
Okay. Axel, your companion kind of steps back into your arms and you watch as her eyes go white. You've heard of wizards and sorcerers doing this sort of thing, looking through the eyes of their familiars. And you watch as this little candle, this little sentient waxling floats off, giving off a soft light as it goes deeper and deeper. And then finally through the opposite side of the chamber and through your familiar's eyes, Mirage, you see it go down through another spiraling staircase down, until you enter another chamber. Very similar to this. In fact, almost identical. You see more of these water spirits. Down here, you get the scent. The water is quite a bit dirtier here. Across the surface of the water, you can see there are more of these water spirits, but they somehow seem not agitated, but just sullied and unsure and more sporadic. Like they're the ones that you saw earlier in this location that you're in right now had a bit more of a consistency to them. These ones are just on the borderline of just dispersing entirely. As if trying to keep their forms have just, over time, have just broken down to almost nothing. They're just wisps of their former selves. These already minor spirits are just loosely hanging on to this plane of existence, fluttering back and forth between this and the spirit realm, as if they could vanish at any moment. Go ahead and give me a perception check with the... You just give me your perception and we'll take off your modifier, which I think is a 5. So it's just basically a flat roll. Okay. With the light of your familiar kind of scattering about this place, you don't see or sense anything here. You vaguely see the water spirits in this second chamber. And they're just... They almost have no sign of any type of movement or sentience. They're just vaguely hanging on to this realm of existence. It's almost sad, more so than it is concerning. And as you float deeper into this chamber, you look up and all around. You see almost nothing. It's just covered in moss and algae. There doesn't appear to be any movement. You don't sense any movement. Again, you see there's yet another staircase at the far end that goes deeper down. As I stated, this chamber is almost identical to the ones you are here in now, your physical body. Do you go deeper into the third and final chamber?
So this chamber looks like there's like the spirits are sadly like dying, but there's nothing in it.
Yes, you don't see
Or
anything.
nothing that I see anything, yeah.
Right, with that perception check, you don't really see anything around. You don't sense anything. Nothing comes after your waxling. It just looks sad and dissolving. Not dissolving, but just falling apart and left in a severe state of disrepair. The spirits here are just all but gone. It's cold here. It's not inviting for a different reason. The symbiotic spirits that had maintained this location are all but gone.
Can I talk? Like myself?
Not through your familiar, no.
No, but like me.
Yeah,
Like
you can talk to
upstairs.
your companions, yes. You can talk.
Okay. But I will not hear them or like barely. So I'm just gonna say like, okay, I'm down one chamber below. Apparently there's nothing. It's a little bit cold, not really that pleasant. Same place like this. There's some spirits, but they're going back to the realm. Like they don't seem pretty good. They're not stable. It seems that I can go below, and I will go below, and I will send it one chamber below.
Okay. Axel, Mipsy, as Mirage states this, what are you thinking and doing?
I'm just waiting for something to pop up in front of us.
The spirits here seem stagnant, but not nearly as decrepit and fading like the ones that your companion describes further below. They do seem excited by the food spread across by your companion earlier.
All right. If they seem to be more agitated towards us and hostile, I'll use my wild shape and put some petals around us.
Okay.
If not, I got nothing.
You don't sense any agitation or animosity from these spirits here. In fact, they seem more jubilant than when you first saw them, having likely fed on something other than just the ambient energy in this chamber. And based on what your companion has described in the second chamber, without that ambient energy, without the flow of that symbiotic relationship with the hatchery for hundreds of years, they've all but just faded into nothingness without that energy to sustain them. Mirage, as you guide your waxling deeper down now into the lowest levels of the ziggurat, it has gotten very cold. It is still above freezing, but only just. As you go down into the deepest, darkest recesses of the ziggurat, the lowest levels, you see another chamber, identical. Now all the spirits are gone. It is still, quiet, ominous. You sense no movement. Give me a perception check. Okay. You don't see anything. The waters here are, although motionless, you see just collected algae and seaweed all over, just like plants growing up in this space. It is nasty down here. The scent is pungent, like the scent of decay, but the cold has eliminated anything that would otherwise propagate or grow in this space. The only thing down here is the remains of what was likely plants that had overgrown over time, but now have just decayed and died and become just a congealed sludge in these pools. But what you do see, unlike the chambers above, this one has a third, or it has a different exit point. And there's a soft light coming from it. What do you do?
Okay, I'm on the last chamber.
You're in the second
Everything
to
here
last
is empty.
chamber.
Oh well, sorry, second to last. I was explaining the group, no? I'm on the
Okay.
next chamber below. There's nothing. It's almost freezing here. But I don't see anything alive in here. I do see a little bit of light, and I'm gonna get a little near it. So I'm gonna send, like, slowly to the light, like stealthy, so I can see.
Okay.
Like, not just running, but like stealthily going through, like trying to hide myself.
Okay. Give me a stealth check with the rats, or your waxlings. I think you have a +1 or a +2 to stealth. So you can roll yours and we'll add that to the base roll and take off your stealth modifier. Okay. So I think the rat has like a +1 or 2.
I don't know which one is, like, would
So
it be
the
dex?
dex mod, yeah, dex. So what is that number? Is it a +1?
It says 0.
It says 0. Okay, so that's a straight 10 then. Okay. Okay. As you head towards the dim light in this chamber that doesn't go directly off, you see there's this gradual, slow staircase, but it's a linear staircase down into a smaller chamber that is similarly domed, like the ones that you've been in thus far. And there's a small, round sort of pedestal here at the entrance to this chamber. In the center of that round pedestal, you see a similar mechanism to the one that you saw on the second level. That stone trigger that you saw that you were told was some sort of valve system for this entire structure. The second one is here, in this lowest location. And as you get just above the valve, the trigger, you see a form. Barely moving, barely breathing. But you do see a older Nakudama woman clothed in a similar cloak and color combination to the other midwives, laying on the side of the steps in this otherwise very clean pool all around, and she seems to be clutching something for dear life. You don't sense anything else in this location. You just sense this barely conscious, barely moving Nakudama. This is what you see in this chamber. Get the... There's a dim light coming from the mechanism. And there's a soft, dim light coming from the center of this much smaller but domed pool. Right now, I would say your familiar is directly over this mechanism here at the entrance to the chamber. But based on the description you got from Zelda, you would imagine this is likely Beati. She seems to be clutching something in her arms. She lays very still. She seems to have some sort of... It's hard to see here. The light is a bit dim, but you see there's some sort of injury to her back. And then the back of her cloak, her shawl is scorched by something. She lays very still in this pool of dimly lit water.
Can I see what she's clutching, or is it too dark?
You do see the top of it. It's soft, sort of rubbery. Not completely spherical, but more oblong. It has a soft greenish tint to it, with little speckles all over it. It takes
If
you...
I let go...
Go ahead.
No, it's okay. Well, I was gonna say, like, if I let go of, like, me seeing through its eye, would it still be there?
Yes.
Can I still go back? If it's okay, of course. Or would it not work like that?
You don't know. I mean, you can certainly leave your familiar there. It's going to remain until it either gets destroyed or the 1 hour time frame subsides. Right now, it's only been about maybe 10 or 15 minutes of searching.
But can I like see through its eyes again, even though it's like away from me?
Yes, you can still sense that it's in its existence, but you can step away from its eyes, and communicate with your companions.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Like, I'm gonna come back to my I'm gonna leave it there, but I'm gonna like stop seeing through it for a second.
Okay.
And um, okay, so the candle is on the chamber below. There's like this pool of water on front, a little bit far from it, and there's someone in there. Uh, what was the race? Sorry.
They're Nakudama. They're like
Na-
the frog people.
yeah, it's the Nakudama, which I believe might be the one that's always talking about. It. I don't know. It's a she, right? It's a she.
It looks like a female Nakudama that fits
Uh,
the
she
description of what you were given.
she she's not well. She is definitely hurt, and she has something on her. I cannot have like a clear look, but it's something like uh rubbery, like mechanism. Oh, and there's another mechanism from the ones we just passed that you guys were looking. There's like my candle is near that, and that's the situation. I don't know if I
Can
should go
your
further.
candle give her the earth talisman that I gave you on your candle?
I mean, I can get near her and hope that she grabs it.
Drop it and just like have it shove it towards it.
So I get near it, drop it, and leave.
Is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay. And I
like-
go back.
Like
Wait,
try to motion to her to grab it. Because this will save her if anything happens.
okay. So I go back.
Okay.
And I slowly get not that slow, but like not like pretty quickly get
Okay.
close to her, and on the most friendly way I can do it, like drop it on the floor and like kind of like push it a
Okay.
little bit towards her, and like maybe take some steps behind, but just for me to make sure that
Sure. You
to
can
see if she grabs it.
She doesn't move towards it, but she does notice the soft light of your waxling as she stares up and looks at you, and as she does, you can see what's in her arms. It is an egg.
Did she grab it, or she left it on the floor?
She's clutching the egg more so than the talisman, but she's looking up at your talisman, a bit confused and unsure. You can see that she is very weak.
Then I'm gonna get near the talisman, and I'm
Okay.
gonna like. Does she have to have it on her, like wearing it, or just like on the
I think
pocket?
she has to have it on her person.
When a creature is in possession of the talisman.
Right.
But like, if she has it like on a pocket or something, would it count?
Yeah, if it was
That
on
would
her
work,
person,
yes.
I would imagine it would still function.
So I will like pick it and like slowly, maybe try to put it like, not trying to get near the egg that she's clutching,
Right.
but like put it on her.
She seems more focused on the egg that's in her her grasp than the talisman that you place upon her.
At least we got that covered.
Let's
Um,
advance with us. Let's advance with her.
You hear a voice gargle from the darkness on the opposite side of this chamber.
We want to feed. We wants to feed. What's this now coming? Master, we want to feed.
And as
I'm
that
like describing
guttural
everything.
sound comes out from the darkness, you see this glow from what looks like this massive froggy maw opens up from the opposite side of the chamber, and just as you see this glow, a blast of eldritch energy shears across the room and strikes at your waxling familiar, getting a 26 to hit. And
gone.
your sight vanishes from you as you come back to your form.
Okay, I wanna say that while all of that was happening, I was describing it to them, like telling them,
Okay.
and that she was like clutching an egg, and then like eventually we're just gonna say like she has the talisman,
Good.
but my candle is gone.
Yeah, something has
Not good.
destroyed your familiar. As your familiar vanishes and you return to your own sight, an understanding of the remainder of this space and now knowing where this missing midwife has gone and what potentially could be lurking nearby, you must now decide whether or not to plunge deeper into the Temple of Shoom, the 6-layer ziggurat, but we'll make that decision next time, as we're a little over 3 hours now, so I'll let you guys decide what you plan to do moving forward with an explicit danger definitely lurking at the base of this temple.